It was a cold night in March of 2004 when a 17-year-old girl finished her shift at work and walked into the darkness. Her name was Brianna Maitland. She locked up, stepped outside, got into her car, and was never seen again. No one heard her scream, no one saw her struggle, and no one could explain how she disappeared so completely. More than 20 years later, her case remains one of the most haunting missing person mysteries in all of New England. This is her story. Brianna Alexandra Maitland was born in October of 1986 and grew up in Vermont, a quiet place filled with forests, back roads, and small towns where everyone seems to know everyone else. She was artistic and independent, with a strong personality and a desire to live life her own way. Friends described her as creative and thoughtful, someone who loved music and art, and wasn't afraid to be different. But like many teenagers, Brianna struggled. Home life was difficult, and at just 17 years old, she decided to move out. She stayed with friends, sometimes bouncing from place to place, trying to figure things out on her own. She worked to support herself. One of those jobs was at a restaurant called the Black Lantern Inn in the small town of Montgomery, Vermont. Brianna worked as a dishwasher, often on late-night shifts. On Friday, March 19, 2004, Brianna went to work like she always did. Nothing about that night seemed unusual. Co-workers later said she was calm, normal, not afraid, not upset. Around 11:20 p.m., Brianna finished her shift. She cleaned up, said goodbye to the people she worked with, and walked out into the cold night air. That was the last confirmed time anyone ever saw Brianna Maitland. The next morning, Brianna didn't show up where she was supposed to be staying. At first, people thought maybe she just changed plans. Maybe she stayed with another friend. Maybe she needed space. But as the hours passed, concern grew. There was no phone call, no text message, no explanation. By the end of the day, fear had taken over. Then, something shocking was discovered. On Saturday afternoon, a state trooper was driving along Route 118, a quiet road lined with trees and old buildings, when he noticed something strange. A car was backed hard into an abandoned farmhouse. It wasn't parked normally. It looked like it had crashed at full speed. The rear end of the car was smashed deep into the building. The back window was shattered. The license plate was bent. That car belonged to Brianna Maitland. The scene made no sense. There were no skid marks on the road, no broken glass scattered around, no blood, no signs of a struggle. Brianna's purse was missing. Her phone was missing. Her car keys were gone. And Brianna herself was nowhere to be found. It was as if she had vanished into the night. Police immediately began searching the area. They brought in dogs. They searched the surrounding woods. They used helicopters to scan from above. But the forest gave nothing back. No footprints, no trail, no clues. Days passed, then weeks, still nothing. As the investigation continued, rumors began to spread. Some people claimed Brianna had been mixed up with dangerous individuals. Others suggested drugs may have been involved. There were whispers that she owed someone money, that she may have been afraid, but nothing could be proven. Police interviewed friends, co-workers, and anyone who had seen Brianna in the days before her disappearance. No lead went anywhere. The case began to grow cold, but one man refused to stop searching. Brianna's father, Bruce Maitland, could not accept that his daughter was simply gone. From the moment she disappeared, he dedicated his life to finding answers. He searched the area himself, walking the same roads over and over again. He handed out flyers. He spoke to strangers. He followed every tip, no matter how small. When official investigation slowed, Bruce hired private investigators. Not one, but two. For years, they chased leads across state lines. Some tips offered hope, others ended in disappointment. But Bruce never gave up, because to him, Brianna was not a mystery or a case number. She was his daughter. Over time, several theories emerged. Some believe Brianna was abducted shortly after leaving work. Others think she may have met someone she trusted that night. There are those who believe the crash was staged, that her car was deliberately placed at the farmhouse to confuse investigators. And then there's the most chilling thought of all, that someone out there knows exactly what happened to Brianna Maitland and has stayed silent for over 20 years. The abandoned farmhouse where her car was found still stands today, cold, empty, silent. People who visit the site say it feels wrong, as if something terrible happened there, as if the walls themselves are holding on to a secret, yet no physical evidence has ever surfaced. No body, no confession, no closure. Today, Brianna Maitland has been missing for more than 2 decades. She would be in her late 30s. Her case remains open. Her family still waits. And her father still believes that one day, the truth will come out. Because disappearances like this don't just happen. Someone knows something. And until that truth is revealed, the story of Brianna Maitland remains unfinished.